Yeah, I'm Chris Taylor. I work for CLIP, which is a department of Lancashire Wildlife Trust. We primarily get involved with the community side of gardening, I suppose. So we've been heavily involved in Britain in Bloom. My personal job title is Community Food Growing Officer, so I help community groups set up food growing projects. It might be schools, community centres like this one, or just a group of residents really. And we've been running this project out of Britain in Bloom and a couple of food beds since early last year really.
So what's the benefit of gardening to communities?
Oh, tons. The list is sort of endless really. I suppose when you've got the food side of things, you've obviously got the healthy eating, the appreciation of where your food has come from, just being out in the fresh air, doing a bit of stuff gives you the physical exercise, the fitness benefits of that. Then there's all the mental well-being sides of it. You just feel better being out in the air, a bit closer to nature, and restoring a bit of pride in neighbourhoods really.
And so when you're working with people, do you see an improvement in them over time working with you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, to degrees, people have got to be enthusiastic about it. When people are enthusiastic, that's when we see the biggest differences, I suppose. Certainly, I mean, only recently actually working with a group of kids, noticed a big difference in a kid who started off the project, barely being able to hold a trowel really, and having to explain all of that to him, and literally in the space of a few weeks, he's just so much more dexterous with it. So I thought that's a benefit you wouldn't necessarily associate with gardening, but he's improving his hand-eye skills there.
So you find in these sort of gardens there's people of all ages, all backgrounds that are getting involved?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Particularly with the food growing, it seems to capture everybody's imagination really, no matter what ethnic background, no matter what age. Everybody seems to be wanting to get involved with that at the moment.
Excellent. So can you show us around the one at the Catherine Beckett Centre?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. So we started off with the 2 raised beds you see here with food in, and the next stage we added was a small corner bed there, which has now grown and developed over this side. There were some issues because it is an active community centre and they have lots of kids groups here. There were some issues with kids, no malice, but jumping on the beds and whatnot. So we, I shouldn't say we, it was Robin and Pat and the gang really who put the fence and the arch up just to give it a little bit of protection, but also finishes the garden off really nicely, I think. We've been doing a few little bits and bobs in containers as well. We're getting towards the end of the lifespan now and looking a bit tatty. We've had a row of Brussels sprouts in there, some leeks for overwinter. We've some spring cabbages in this bed, and we're about to put some overwintering onions to add to that. And then in here is predominantly ornamental things, but as we get further towards this end, we've some strawberries, some rhubarb, some raspberries and some currants. And the planting's all a little bit close in here, but the idea is as things grow they'll expand and move to various parts of the centre. We've some big raised beds in the front as well with plants specifically to attract bees and butterflies, and that was, I haven't seen that for a couple of weeks, but last time I was here that was looking really colourful. And then we've also a couple of planters in the front that were donated by Preston City Council, and they've got some ornamental stuff in as well.
So why is it important that we're having really attractive looking gardens like this in the middle of urban areas?
I think it's because people need to be close to nature, I think, or to be involved in something outdoors, and it brings that to the fore in some ways. I mean, there'll be exceptions around here, but a lot of the houses have no gardens. So for people who are interested in gardening or very small gardens, and it just gives them the opportunity to be out in the fresh air really, and improving their neighbourhood.
I suppose you could say there's an element of responsibility, isn't it, knowing that you have to nurture something to grow?
Absolutely, yeah, and it particularly when you've got kids involved, responsibility and patience as well, because kids typically want things to happen now, and gardening doesn't happen like that, and it sort of introduces them to to that, I think.
Excellent. So if somebody wanted to get involved in this garden project or a garden project like this, where would they go for more information?
Well, I mean, there's tons of gardening projects all over Preston, really, ones that Wildlife Trust are involved with and ones that we're not, but we tend to know about a lot of them. So probably if they get in touch with the Wildlife Trust or specifically with me, and they can email me at ctaylor@lancswt.org.uk.